everybody, it's Sarah again, Love Sock Wool on Ravelry and Instagram. Welcome to episode 3. I hope you're doing well. We all have the Minnesota cold, so sorry if there's sniffles and coughings and hackings. I'll try to be dignified. So I hope you're doing well, and thanks for watching. Yeah, so I'm just gonna get right into what I've been working on, and I guess first I'll do finished objects because I have one finished object, only one, and it is my beautiful Sodermalm light hat by the lovely Maria Monska. I finished it. I think it only took me 4 days, which is pretty good for me. I think I kind of messed up the decreases with the color work. Probably because I wasn't paying attention to what I was supposed to be doing, but it's fine. I don't care. I think it'll still be a lovely warm hat. It did turn out a teensy bit small for me, I think, but I don't know. What do you think? I have small children, so someone will get to wear it. But it was a very enjoyable knit. It's the purple is Duchess Heather and the blue is Wonderland Heather, and it's the Knit Picks Stroll, which I very much enjoyed knitting with. So this is my one finished object for the week. Okay, so let me show you some socks, because you know I love socks. Made some progress on my Octopus Garden sock. Got the heel flap done yesterday. I'm almost done with the gussets. And look what happened on the heel turn. I love what happened on the heel turn. It's like stripey. Isn't that fun? And this is Full and Vine Yarns Blitzed, colorway Octopus Garden. And I'm just doing a plain vanilla 64 stitch. Just a classic sock. Here, I'll show you the ball. Do you see the sparkle? Little shimmer there, little bit of magic. Okay, so that's that one. And then, remember last week I showed you guys that crazy Zauber ball? I cast it on. I couldn't resist. So again, I cast on 64 stitches. I did 2x2 ribbing for about 25 rounds, and then knit 65 rounds of stockinette. And I'm ready to start the heel flap. Or maybe I'll do Fish Lips Kiss. I don't know. I do love a heel flap and gusset. It's my favorite. It's my go-to. But I think I have the Fish Lips Kiss heel memorized, so I could always throw that one in, but I don't know. We'll see. I finished the leg and then put it aside to play with some other things. So, I think that this is the colorway Volca 7. I'm not entirely sure. But it's lovely whites and purples and pinks. I really love it. So, I still have to pick up the gussets on the tail sock. I still haven't done that. It's in my bag. I didn't show you this bag last time. I can't believe it. So Molly from a Homespun House, we did a project bag swap, which was super fun, and she made me this one. I have always loved this fabric. She's made several of these project bags out of this fabric. It's just a real pretty little calico, little flowers, and I just love it. So she gave me a little brooch too. That was so nice of her. That was a very fun swap to do. All right. Oh yes. Then the other night, I think it was Saturday, I really needed something mindless to work on. Of course, all of my socks are mindless. They're all plain vanilla at this point, but I had to pick a sock from my infamous sock whip basket. And this one was the closest to being done with the gussets at the time, so I just picked it up and finished the gusset decreases. And then the next thing I knew, I'm like almost done with the foot. If you knit socks, they get done. Newsflash. So this is Reggae Super Jacquard. Here, I'll show you the ball. Colorway 07204, otherwise known as Colibri? So I found this skein on Etsy. I found it on Etsy. I really like it. It's just a fun, wacky color with all these oranges and aquas and browns. And this is, I cast on, I think 68 stitches, because I was thinking I would make these for my brother-in-law, because I've never made him a pair of socks before. So, man-size socks here. If I apply myself, I could probably finish this today. We'll see. I think I have about like 20 more rows, and then I'll be ready for the heel, the toe. And I'm using my carbons, DPNs, which I quite enjoy. Pardon me, I take a sip of my tea. I'm fighting the same cold that my entire family has right at the moment. So I've been enjoying this tea. It's called Throat Comfort. It's lovely. It's got licorice in it, which is one of the first ingredients. So I didn't even put any sugar or honey in this. It's sweet on its own. It's very nice. Okay. Is there any other socks? Yeah. Those are the 3 socks I've mainly been working on. As you know, there are many more, but those are the 3 that I chose to work on the most. Okay, and I have a couple more whips I can show you. Priscilla and I went to see the new Cinderella movie on Saturday. So of course I had to take some knitting with me to the theater. So this is gonna look kind of strange, but I'll explain. So this is a hat that I cast on for my youngest, who's 2.5. And it's the Starfish Hat. This part is the Starfish Hat. See these decreases? It's like got 5 points of decrease, so it looks like a starfish. And this is a free pattern on Ravelry. So what I did is I knit the hat as the pattern says, but I did a provisional cast on so that I could then pick up the stitches later and knit a lining so that she could have a super warm hat. So I'm kind of blending the Starfish Hat and Elizabeth Zimmerman's Very Warm Hat. That's what it's called, Very Warm Hat. And so maybe I can try to stuff the lining. So the idea is that she will have a nice lined hat. And I'm sure I've done something wrong. I probably was supposed to purl around or something, because I think this should have a cleaner edge, but it'll be fine. Once I finish it and stuff the lining back into the hat, I think it'll be fine. So look at this fuzzy yarn. Do you know what it is? Can you guess? It is Fleece Artist Peter Rabbit. Don't you love that name? So it's a merino angora nylon blend. See that halo? It is like knitting with a bunny rabbit. It is so soft. It is, I think, the perfect liner for a hat. And this, I don't remember like yardage or whatever on this, but I only bought 1 ball of this and knit my oldest child a very warm hat using this as the lining, and this is the leftovers, so I'm sure I'll be able to, I don't think I'll run out of yarns. So Juliet will have a very warm hat too, so that'll be good. Oh, I didn't tell you what this was, sorry. Barocco Ultra Alpaca Light, and this is how much I have left. So it's a sport weight. It's a 50-50 merino or Peruvian wool and alpaca. And I love that yarn. It's so warm, so warm. work in progress. I have notes. Look at that. So organized. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I didn't show you my bag that Juliet's hat was in. This is another Homespun House bag. I got this for myself for Christmas. So cute. And then my latest work in progress is the Swedish Spring Shawl. And this is a test knit for the lovely Maria of the Stitched in Sweden podcast. She's designing a shawl pattern and it's called Swedish Spring. It's really pretty. It's just a kind of a stockinette backdrop with just these random textured stitches thrown in. She said it was okay if I show it on the podcast because she's showing hers as well. It's not been released yet, but it will be soon, probably in another couple weeks. So I am knitting this with more Wool and Vine yarns, one of my favorites, blitzed base. This is Pandora. Real pretty creams and blues and shots of magenta. It's so pretty. And of course, sparkle. I have to have sparkle. So I'm almost, well, no, I'm not almost to the lace section. So you know, you've got this kind of stockinette textured section, and then it will go into this beautiful lace edging. I've got quite a few more rows before I get to the lace, but it'll be fun to get to the lace section. I think that's it for my whips. I do have some acquisitions to show you because mail has been delivered since last we spoke. Okay, so let me show you what has come in the mail for me. Let's see. Okay. This is so beautiful. I can hardly believe it. So, of course, Wool and Vine yarns, blitzed with sparkle. And this is her fairy hair colorway, which I've always loved ever since I saw it the first time. It's just these lovely lavenders and mauve, or mauve, as Kristen calls it. And like gold. See that? And then, okay, this is kind of my favorite part. There's this like kind of icy blue. Not sure if it's blue, but it's so gorgeous. I love it. Kristen went out and found a pack of fairies and chopped off their hair and skeined it up into yarn. Kristen, you have a lot to answer for, but it's so beautiful. I don't know what I'm gonna make. I normally make socks with Kristen's yarn, but this may have to be like a hat or a cowl or something that is going to be seen because it's too pretty to hide in shoes. We'll see. If you have any ideas, let me know. But I think I'm just gonna have to look at it for a while. I'm just gonna have to enjoy. I'm going to have to enjoy it as art and just display it. Okay. There's more. Okay, so I got some tweed. I got some Reggae Tweed from Webs. A couple people that I follow on Instagram were showing off theirs, and being the shameless copycat that I am, I had to get some. And this is just a lovely gray, really pretty, 00090. That's the colorway. But it's basically like a natural gray. I was thinking I really want to knit the Flying North socks that Maria just came out with of Stitched in Sweden podcast. It's a free pattern. She just put it up. It's so beautiful and simple. I think it would be perfect for this yarn. So I may do that. I don't know when I'm going to cast on, but soon. Okay, so I got that. There's more tweed. Oh yes. That is not even the half of it. Okay, hold on. Okay, So I purchased this tweed. It was in the hank, but I balled it up into a ball because I wanted to knit with it. This is Query Fiber, Shamrocks and Rainbows. It's a St. Patrick's Day colorway. Beautiful greens and bits of red and blues and orange in there. Perfect for St. Patrick's Day, and I'm hoping that these can be next year's St. Patrick's Day socks. I had cast on and got a cuff done and then put it down, and the next day I was looking at it and I didn't like the gauge I was getting. I was using 2.25 millimeter needles, and I think these need zeros or maybe even double zeros. This is some super skinny yarn. Yeah, I don't know. And I just didn't feel like knitting with needles that small, so put it aside. We have another year until it's St. Patrick's Day, so I have time to decide what I want to do. But I just wanted to show you that because it's a really fun colorway. How neat would it be to have St. Patrick's Day socks in tweed yarn? That would be so fun. So yes. Okay. The last tweed that I have to show you, this has a story, and I will tell it to you. So this is more Reggae Trend and Classic Tweed, but this is the 100 gram put up in the Veen Rote colorway, so red wine. Colorway 09060. It's a really pretty, just kind of Merlot color. It's really pretty, and let me just tell you, it is hard to find this stuff. Some of the American online shops will have like the gray or black, but they don't have any of the colors. So the other night, I probably just wasn't sleepy, so it was late. I'm looking on my iPad in my bed, Googling Reggae Trend and Classic Tweed, because, you know, Molly's always talking about it from a homespun house and how much she loves it. So I'm like, I'm just gonna try to track some down. So I did the search, and it's taking me to all, like, you know, German websites that doesn't look like they really are going to ship to the US. So somehow I end up on ebay.it, and everything's in Italian. So eBay Italia. And they had it. And I was like, oh, I wonder if I could just buy it. So of course everything's in Italian and I don't speak Italian, but I click on the button that is in the same spot as on American eBay where it would say buy now. So click buy, and then it, it's, how it takes you to the next screen, but it seemed like I was hitting a roadblock, like it wasn't letting me complete the transaction. Something wasn't quite right, and I'm like, oh no, there's gonna be this eBay invoice out there from Italy that I'm not paying, but it won't let me because it's like knows I'm not in Italy. It's not gonna send it to me. It's not gonna let me buy it. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna walk away from that. We'll just pretend like that didn't happen. So I continued to do my searches for Reggae Trend and Classic Tweed, and oh, here's another eBay link. So I click on that one, and everything's in French. eBay Francais. So I'm like, oh, there's the yarn. This is the color that I want. Should I buy it? So I go ahead and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to try one more time. Click buy, or at least what I think says click buy. And of course, the same thing is happening where it's not completing the transaction. I can tell something's not quite right. So I was like, okay, I better quit messing around. I need to go to bed. So I went to bed. And the next morning, I got on my eBay, regular eBay, and basically what it was asking me, I went ahead and did Google Translate. It was asking me to contact the seller to see if they would ship to my address in America. So I'm like, okay, I can do that. So I messaged the seller. I'm like, hi, can you ship to America? Thanks. And I don't know. I mean, it was very quickly, the person responded. I don't know if it was a man or a woman, but they responded right away and basically invoiced me the correct amount, including the shipping, which was not very much. I think this ended up only costing me like $20, I think, which is, not too bad. So I bought it, I paid for it, and they shipped it out to me with tracking information, and I got it about 2.5 weeks later. Yeah, so all's well that ends well. However, there might be an Italian invoice out there thinking that I haven't paid them, but I don't know what to do about that. So, okay, so anyway, when the package came, which did not get delivered to my door, the postal worker put a slip in my mailbox saying that I had a parcel at the post office and that I needed to come sign for it. Even though I was here when the postal worker came up, I don't know why he didn't ring the doorbell. He could have just handed it to me and I could have signed for it, but whatever. So the next day, Juliet and I drove to the post office and picked up my German Reggae Trend Classic Tweed via eBay Francais. And it did not come from France. It came from Germany, but for some reason I bought it through the French eBay system. Does that make any sense? No, I don't think so. But I almost bought it through the Italian eBay system. In fact, the Italians may think that I owe them money, but I don't know because, well, they haven't tracked me down. I see I might be getting into trouble here. So, moral of the story is, if you can't sleep at night, stay off the international eBays because you might get into trouble. But anyway, all is well that all, how does that phrase go? All's well that ends well, something like that. I have my yard and it is lovely and it is beautiful and I better knit something with this because it had a little bit of a journey getting to me. So yes, thanks for watching, and if you care to, please come join the Love Sock Wool podcast group on Ravelry. I would love to see your socks. Just share, jump right in. I think it will be a fun community. So yes, have a wonderful week. Keep knitting socks. Bye.